I've had a lot of people ask about the two spreaders, the Boss versus the Polycaster, the Fisher. So I kind of want to do a little comparison video on the two. It's kind of tough. I can't really show you how they spread, but I'm sure if you guys go back and watch all our videos, you know, back through the years, there's probably about 100 snowplowing videos, you'll see each unit working and you'll kind of get the gist. So let me start to kind of just go over both. If you're not familiar with our fleet, we have two trucks with spreaders. We have a Boss VBX 6500 in the pickup truck here. This is a 1 yard unit. It's a little smaller. I like it because of that. It's perfect for a pickup truck. We normally have a toolbox in here, but we actually took the toolbox out this year to leave a little extra space for ice melt and possible snowblower. But it's like the perfect small unit for a truck. It's not too big, it's not too small. This truck here has the Fisher Polycaster in it. This is a 1.5 yard. And obviously you can see it's only half yard bigger, but it's massive. So that's the one downside I don't like about the Polycasters. They're massive, especially the small units at least, you know. It would make sense, you know, they said it's only a half yard difference, but the size is, you know, there's such a difference in size. So to put this in a pickup truck, it'd be hanging out the back, you know, it'd look crazy. So that's why we obviously got this in the dump truck, this in the pickup truck. So that's one thing I don't like about the Polycaster is the size. Obviously the 1.8 yard and the 2 yard and all the bigger ones make sense, they're bigger, you know, but the smaller unit is still basically the same size. So it is huge, but that's why we got it in the dump truck. So basically pros and cons about both. And like I said, if you guys want to see these units working, go back through any of our snow videos. There's hundreds of videos. You'll definitely see both. So I'll start with this one here. This is our original unit. We bought this, God, probably 5-6 years ago now, maybe even more. Brand new. So basically what I like about it, and the reason why I bought it, is because it's small. You know, it fits in this truck perfectly. It could fit in this truck if I wanted to put it in this one. You know, I'd have to take the toolbox out, but it fits in the truck no problem without it being way too overkill. You know, if I put a Polycaster in here, it would take up the whole truck. We wouldn't even have room for ice melt. So size-wise, it's awesome for a small truck. Fits about a yard. You can heap it with a little bit more. We've probably put a yard and a half in it, sometimes maybe even more. So you can really heap them. What I do like about them is it's got the swing door here. So if you want to fill buckets, you know, you can actually take this door off. I don't have the truck running, so I can't show you how it fills, but you can actually take this door off here. I'm gonna do this one-handed, so bear with me. Well done. We're having an issue with the plastic on ours. See how it's getting stuck? I don't know, it's the plastic covering. It's getting stuck. So you have to kind of push it up to open the door. There you go. So this door can slide open, and then you just basically take a bucket, you know, get your Home Depot bucket or whatever you're using, put it right there, hit the dump button, fill your bucket up, go spread your ice melt on the walkways, come back if you need more, fill it again. Honestly, what I've been doing lately, I haven't even been using the bucket. I've been doing it the lazy man's way, but it works just fine. You take a shovel, do the exact same thing, put it on the shovel, grab the shovel, and walk down your ice melt walkway and put your ice melt down. That's one of the best features about this unit. You can kind of do the same thing with the Polycaster, but you know, what you have to do is you have to put it on, you know, dump, and it doesn't let you keep the spinner off. So you can make a pile on the ground and shovel it into a bucket. That's what we do on this one sometimes, but this is awesome for this. So like I said, ours, the plastic here is a little warped, but normally it opens right up. That's something we gotta fix. So to shut it, you just obviously shut it, and then this is not the actual pin that comes with the unit. Those pool people here know what this looks like, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's actually an Allen key for a safety cover. This is actually the real pin. We lost one of them. It's also got the lights that come on it. They're not the best lights, but they work. And then you can, you know, obviously adjust the deflector shield. You can adjust the heights, all that stuff with the spinner. And the spinner obviously comes off too. You can take the whole spinner unit right off. So we'll take the spinner off if we're not using it, you know, if we're driving around, all that good stuff. This is a chain unit. It's not an auger. We've had no issues with it. We tighten the chain every year, pretty much one time a year, unless it's, you know, getting heavy use. We obviously keep good care of it, and we've had this thing for 5 or 6 years now with no issues. The only thing I don't like about it, honestly, is the cover. I mean, the cover's fine, don't get me wrong, But when you have a Fisher Polycaster where you can just put the doors up, this takes a few extra minutes, especially if it's covered in snow or it's freezing cold out. It can be a pain. Other than that, and that's minor, I really have no issues with it. As far as the controls go, I do actually like the controls on this a little bit better than the Fisher. Do I got my keys for this truck? I do. Give me 1 second, I'll show you guys the controls. They're very similar, but the Polycaster doesn't have numbers, so you can see where it, you know, it's more, I'll show you when we get in there. It's more of a dial system. So turn that on real quick. Get you guys down here so you can see. So it's just like the Polycaster where it turns on and then the screen goes blank. Turn your screen on, you got your light button so you can turn your light on. Hopefully you guys can see that. You got your feeder over here and you got your spinner over here. So basically how much material you want to come out here on the feeder and how far you want to shoot it here. So I honestly run the feeder usually at 1 or 2. In the spinner I usually run about 4 or 5, sometimes 6 if it's a wide open parking lot, but I don't go any more than that. Basically how it works, you set it, hit start stop. I'll show you real quick, and then now the unit should be working. I'll show you real quick out back. As you see, we're spinning here, and there's nothing in this, so nothing's coming out. But it has a little bit of residue, I guess, from last storm. But basically, I like how it's digital, where you can see, you know, the numbers. The numbers are nice for anybody new to using it. You can tell them, all right, set it here and leave it. The good thing too is if, you know, you have it set, you shut it off. Now you turn it back on, it's still there. You don't have to worry about resetting it. That is another good feature. The only thing I don't like I said, it shuts off on itself, but your numbers are still there. I just like how you can see 1, 5, you know, you can adjust all the way up to 10. I would never go 10 because that's just spinning out of control. And then same thing with the feeder, you can go all the way up to 10, which is a little excessive. I've never honestly really run this more than 2. 2 I think gives a pretty damn good spread. You know, 2 is if it's like really icy or heavy snow. You run at 2, you just drive a little slow over it, it gives good coverage. The only reason why I put it to like 10 or something like that is if I'm, you know, dumping out into a pile or something like that, all the extra. So, but all in all, I like the unit. It's perfect for this truck. If I got another pickup truck, I would 100% get another one. For what we do, it's perfect. You know, obviously we got some small lots, we don't have anything big. This actually is absolutely perfect for that. All right, so now on to the Polycaster. This unit we got about 3 years ago used from a previous tenant we used to rent from. You guys have probably seen all the videos and probably saw the day we got this, and there is videos, I should say, on the channel of each one of these separate. They're from years past, but I made videos of each one separate working, kind of what I'm doing now, but actually showing them working and stuff like that. So there is a whole video on both units, especially this one when we first got it, showing it working. So this unit here, unfortunately, doesn't have the feature of being able to slide that to fill the buckets, which whatever, it's not a make or break. But other than that, what I really like about this unit, it does obviously have the lights. These lights aren't working, we got it used. As you can see, this is why we got it used. Turns out the reason why they were selling it is, I guess, one of their guys had it loaded and either they were spinning out or doing, I don't know the whole story, but this basically broke. So they fixed this, you know, sealed it up, and it's been fine for us since, no issues. I mean, I got a hell of a deal on this. I don't even want to tell you guys what I got it for, because I basically got it for nothing. So works awesome. The lights actually don't work, which I have the lights down the bottom of the truck, which it is what it is. So the thing I like the most about this though is the doors. To load this, the doors flip open. I'm gonna have to get up there to show you guys, so give me a second. So this is the best feature of the whole unit. The doors flip open, so not only when you're loading it, if you have any spillover, it's going to hit the door and come off. It's not going to get in your truck bed and get stuck. When you're done loading, you just flip them back up and everything stays, you know, sealed up. Definitely the best feature of this unit. I wish, and it would be tough probably to make it on this design. I wish the Boss could do something like that, because you got to be careful when you're loading it. That is one thing, going back to the Boss, I actually don't like. If you try to load it with a regular skid steer bucket, the bucket's bigger, is wider than the unit, so you have a decent amount of spillover. So we actually have a bucket for the Bobcat that we use. We just happen to have. It's a smaller bucket that this actually fits that spreader perfect, and there's no spillover. So I should say that is one downside to the Boss, is when you're loading it, you're gonna be very careful, because you can definitely get spillover not only off the back but on the sides. This one here you don't have to worry about. I've had this truck loaded with a front end loader, you know, with a 3-yard bucket. Never any issue of any spillover. And if you do get spillover, it just comes off the side and then you just flip it back in. So by far the best feature of this is the doors. You know, easy to shut, easy to open, keeps everything sealed, and there's no spillover. Best part about it. As far as the controls and everything like that, very similar. Get in the cow, I'll show you. The only thing I don't like about them, I'm gonna make some room in here, give me a second. So these controls are a little bit different, so you guys can see. Turn it on. So we have ours all hooked up to our auxiliary switches. So same thing, it turns on. This one's more of a dial system, so if you can see material width, see that blue dot? So the higher you go, the higher it comes out. And then flow, actually I said that backwards. Width is the higher it is, the higher it shoots, the further it shoots. And flow is the same thing, so it's reversed on this one. You can also do a blast, and you can do that on the Boss too, where it comes out basically full blast. But we basically leave it on, I call it 3 and 3. So 3 there and 3. See, that's the other thing too, it's very hard and very finicky to set these. So I usually do 3 and 3. That is the one thing I do not like about this unit, is the controls. I know it's not a big deal, it still works fine, and it's the same thing with this. Once you set it, you can leave it, but when you get in a parking lot that are like tighter and you have to really slow the flow and the width down, this can be a little bit of a pain. But other than that, I mean, it still works fine. What I do find, this actually spreads a hell of a lot better. I'm gonna turn it on real quick just to show you guys it working. This actually has a little bit of residue salt in it, so you might actually see some stuff coming out. So the only thing with this, it rattles a little bit because where it's set, it's right on our bob, whatever they have, the trailer hitch. But this thing I find actually spreads material so much better. We've gone literally thinking that we're empty sometimes. You know, we've been out spreading salt at all our parking lots. We go to check and it's still half full. So this is very efficient. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, the Boss works great too, but this is one of the most efficient spreads and doesn't use a lot of material. We've been amazed ever since we got this thing, you know, how much less material comes out and how good it spreads. You know, you can go around and do a whole parking lot thinking you're empty, and you know, you still have, you know, 3/4 of the load. That's the best thing I think about this Polycaster is, you know, it's very efficient. Like I said, most cases when we go out salting, we'll have extra salt in both trucks at the end of the storm. It's very rare that we empty both trucks out completely, which is good. You know, we try obviously not to use a ton of salt if you don't need it. So, but all in all though, they both are great units. I, you know, really don't favor one over the other. For what we do, this actually fits this truck absolutely perfect, and that fits that truck absolutely perfect. So for the application and what we're using them for, I think they're the perfect units for both. So but just want to give you guys a little overview of kind of the spreader setups. You know, obviously I've had a lot of questions on them, stuff like that. So if you guys have any other questions on them, let me know. You know, if you want to see any other videos. I know obviously we're sitting here at the shop, we're not spreading any salt, but there's tons of videos on the channel of these two working. So if you actually want to see them working, you know, it's very hard to get a good salt spreading video, you know, see how the spread pattern works. But I believe on that one, there's one a couple years back where it was pre-treating, and then I know this one we used a couple years ago doing like a demo video where you can kind of see the spread pretty good. So but you know, hopefully hopefully this answers some of you guys' questions. I know there's been a lot of questions about the spreaders, so but I'll try to do more videos on the snow equipment. I know we're not a huge fleet, but you know, I get questions on stuff all the time. So but appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next one.